Good morning, family. This is Deborah Yah with Black Education TV. I'm not going to be out here long, but I did want to just take this moment to have a few words of admonishment for you. For a very long time, we as so-called black people have allowed ourselves to get caught up in charismatic bull. See, there are a lot of charismatic people of every race and culture, and too often we allow ourselves to get caught up in that. You see, a person can present themselves to you so charming and so sweet and so nice as a person who will be there to help you. There's a such thing as artificial help, the appearance of help when they're doing absolutely nothing at all. Okay? We get caught up in that kind of stuff because I think at this point we are very fragile as a people, and so charisma is something that, you know, really pulls at our heartstrings, and we don't really examine to see whether or not this charismatic person is really genuine because we're looking at the outward. Sometimes a person that speaks to you more harshly may be more helpful and concerned about you than a person who's speaking to you soft and giving you little things, little gifts. You know, there are people who will give you little gifts, something insignificant, and they do it with such charm and charisma that you believe they've done a whole lot for you. And you don't know you're being played. This person is setting the stage to set you up. I think the Native Americans can tell you something about that. You know what I mean? You know how the Europeans came over here and, oh, we have gifts for you. We have these blankets. They're going to keep you warm in the winter. And they were dipped in smallpox disease that wiped out a whole bunch of them, you see. So understand where I'm coming from when I say these things. Don't fall for charismatic bull, because there are a lot of people who are pushing that and selling it and passing it out as something to behold and something charming and something nice, because they want you to see that side of them, but you don't see under the core that there's a snake or a wolf or just a person who's not genuine. They don't necessarily have to be a snake or a wolf, but it can be a person who is not genuine at all. But they have something that they may want from you, or they have something that they are trying to achieve, and you're going to help them do that because they've just won you over with their charm and their charisma. But we as a people, we have to stop falling for charismatic bull and get discernment. We need to know how to discern things. And we lack discernment so often because we are looking at the outward and the superficial things that mean absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You see the pond is frozen there. I can imagine on a really, really, really cold day that ice skating would probably be fun, but it's not something that we're willing to risk, and it's not really something I'm into anyway. Of course, you know, it does look fun, I must admit that, but I've never really been into it, so whatever. But I'm not one to fall for, let me get back to the subject, family. I'm not one to fall for charismatic bull. I'm not. When a person approaches me and they have all of these fluffy words and smiles and compliments and even offering fake help and showing fake concern and stuff, you don't have to always call people out on things, but you can just smile at them and say, oh, okay, yeah, all right, I see what you're saying. And, you know, you don't have to create a battle or war out of everything, but just keep your guards up, you know, because sometimes you can be sucked into it. I must admit, a few times, you know, I've had people that just seemed so genuine and you are almost fooled by it. But then as you get closer and you step back and you think about things and you observe things, you begin to say, oh, okay, I see what's really going on here. This person really is not concerned at all. This person is fishing for something. You see, you have to be very careful because the enemy has people. I'm going a different way this time, family, so if things look unfamiliar, it's because I'm going a different way. Sometimes you can have people that are fishing for something and they will show a little bit of concern for you, and it's really not real concern. And you have to be very discerning to pick up on these things because you can be fooled. Like I said, sometimes you'll find yourself in a situation where you're like, man, this person seems really nice, they seem really genuine, but then the true test comes. So we are not to continue to fall for charismatic bull, because that's how our enemies have been able to conquer us and keep us at a low degree. They charm us. I remember one scene from Amistad where this white man, he sat next to one of the slaves that had been brought over on the ships, and he kind of motioned almost to say, hey, look at this, check this out, almost like it was a game. And then he looked down at one of the male slaves and smiled at him. And the male slave looked up at him and smiled back like, oh, he's nice, she's smiling at me. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like that, where it was almost like he was suckered in by a smile, something as simple as a smile. Man. Now, I would be lying if I didn't say I feel sorry for my people. I'll put it to you that way. I feel sorry for our people because many of us have been in that place before where we have been tricked. I have been there before, but it's very difficult to do that to me now because I come in the door wondering if a person is genuine. And it's sad that you have to be that way because we've had so many obstacles come our way as a people, and some of us, we are taking heed to that, and we're not playing the game anymore. I've been around Gentiles, I've been around our own people who are just so full of it, but they would have you fooled if you're not paying attention. You can be fooled thinking that this person is really genuine. I remember this one business we went to, this Gentile. He kind of pulled us out of our game a bit. We usually take a deposit before we start a job. And it wasn't that we were fooled in this instant. We wanted the business. So he says, oh, I'll take care of you as soon as you're done. I'll just take care of the whole thing at one time. Because we wanted the business, we were like, okay, we went against our own rules. And this Gentile tried to stiff us. After we got the work done, he tried to stiff us. And that's because we fell for the charismatic bull. Not that we didn't know it, not that we didn't recognize it. It's just that we were desperate for the business. So we said we're going to take the chance. We took the risk. So this wasn't a case where he tricked us. This was a case where we, out of need, said, okay, we'll do the work first and get paid later. So whether it was unintentional or what, we still fell for or we went for the okie doke. We went against our own rule. And so it kind of taught us a lesson in that we don't want to be to the point where we allow people to sucker us. That's really what it is. You're being suckered. And I'm not just putting it all on Gentiles either. Not just putting it all on Gentiles, because even our own people can be full of charismatic bull. Full of charismatic bull. And we just can't afford that in this day and time, especially those of us who are seeking Yah, because This is how you're drawn away into false doctrines, because you're paying attention to every wind of doctrine that blows your way. You see something that sounds good. The scripture says there's a way which seems right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways of death and destruction. And so what our people are doing is they will hear something that sounds good from somebody that's full of charismatic bull, and they'll fall for it, and they blindly follow those who are not even true chosen leaders of the Most High. And when they hear someone who has a softer message or cleaner message, and guess what? It don't even have to be a soft or clean message, because you have some tyrannical teachers too. Some people that are brutish with their delivery, but they deliver it in such a way to where people are drawn in and sucked into it. You see. And so you have to be very careful of that, especially in Christianity. I mean, that ain't nothing but charismatic talk. Some of these preachers got that hum just right when they preach, and half the time you only hear the message, you so into the tune and the hum in which he is delivering his message. And that is a bunch of foolishness, family. We got to get beyond that stuff and go in for the deeper stuff. If you're truly Yah's, he says, my sheep hear my voice, and another they will not follow. You should be able to hear and know if someone is talking jive to you, or if someone is telling you the truth. Something that is going to be good for your soul. Truth is good medicine for the soul, you see. But lies, deceit, charismatic bull, should I say, and all this other nonsense is not good for your soul at all. As a matter of fact, it is actually a path to destruction. And so I'm going to head in out of this cold now. My fingertips are very, very cold at this point. So I'm going to head in. But I just wanted you all to just think about what I'm saying here. I might visit this subject again, because I just feel like there's a lot of that going around. I really feel like there's a lot of that going around, and our people are just in such need of deliverance, and such need of happiness and a breakthrough of some sort, that we are willing to fall for anything. Because it's just kind of rough right now. Kind of rough. I'm over here at the pond. The children told me that it actually filled up quite a bit. I remember the other day I was talking about how the trees right there were in the water, because the water had fell back some. Now I see that they're in the water again. It's frozen, but they're there. You see, it did rain quite a bit the other night. Okay, let me head in out of this cold. But yes, family, put your guards up. Put on the whole armor so you can stand against all this mess, because it's a lot of stuff floating around out here that we need to be very aware of, that is not of Yah. We are in battle time. This is no time to play and fall for lies and all this other deceit anymore. It's time for us to get ourselves together, because the enemy, he's not playing, and neither should we be playing. Okay? Shalom, family. Love you, and take care.